guys, don't freak out. It's me. I'm just wearing my new glasses. I'm trying to get used to them, so wearing them as much as possible. I hope you don't think I'm too nerdy and not want to watch or listen to this podcast if you're on audio. I'm wearing glasses. But yeah, I hope that me looking like a nerd doesn't deter anyone from listening to this cool ass podcast.
I know right now it's really hard because every bit of in my instinct is telling me to shove you into a locker and steal your lunch money, and I have to actively resist that.
But don't you want to copy my homework more?
It's like I want to copy your homework, and then here's what I think. I think I want to act like I have a crush on you just so you can tutor me, and then I want my feelings to become real over time. But then I want you to find out that actually this was all just so I could copy your homework, and my feelings weren't real, and then you break it off just as my feelings do become real.
Right. And then you see me at the dance, and I have my glasses off, and a guy who's a lot cooler and hotter than you has already swooped in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I take my own life.
Yeah, and then you commit SE-cide.
Yeah.
How would you do it? How would your character do it?
Well, I would at this point run down to the secret government base where my father is keeping the aliens, and I would tell the aliens to zap me with their ray. Do
you think they would? Or they'd be like, "No, buddy, it gets better." I think I like to think that they'd be like,
well, then they would take me back to their home planet, and then you think I took my own life because of you, and then you actually do take your own life.
Oh my God. I'm like, oh.
Why don't they make good movies anymore?
And also, if we see any studios copy this, we're coming for your rump.
We walk in, we're like, we're here for your rump. And they're like, oh, wait, how much money do you want? I'm like, money? We're here for your rump.
Yeah, we're here for your freaking rump.
Midnight?
Milkshake.
You might also notice, like, I have two front teeth. My two front teeth got fixed, finally.
Do you think I was inadvertently trying to steal your spotlight?
By
you, all my glasses.
You were worried that I would outshine you by having a new thing on my face.
Yeah.
And so you quickly got glasses. By the way, she got it like an hour before we started filming. So now it is a little bit suspicious.
Yeah, I picked them up like right before this. But your teeth look really good.
Yeah. Well,
Robert's been just freaking stunning. He's been not smizing. Smizing is when you smile with your eyes. You've been
smiling,
smiling, regular, original, classic.
What's the word for when you're smizing but with your mouth? What is that?
Smiling.
And
Tyro doesn't know about that one.
Yeah. It is crazy because like I chipped my two front teeth like literally a decade ago, literally before I ever posted a video on the internet. So if anything, it's kind of amazing that I was able to rise on the internet with two busted front teeth.
I mean, again, it's like you had one hand tied behind your back.
Yeah.
Two teeth chipped.
I had two teeth chipped in front of my face.
And so imagine, you guys, this is the new era of Robert where he's at full teeth potential.
I'm making content full tooth.
Full tooth.
And here's what I'll say. Doesn't seem to be making a difference, actually.
For now.
But maybe.
Also, I always think of social media, like clout and fame, success, etc. It's very like in the aggregate. So it's like it's very hard to tell individual videos or like days on end. It's very much like looking at your progress and growth over a series of years.
So 10 years from now, when I'm reviewing my numbers, I'll see that my two new front teeth.
Yes, I think like on the graph, you might be able to see like, oh, that's when I really started to rise.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's when my true galactic ascent began.
I will say when I got like the last of the work done on my two front teeth, when I walked in, my dentist goes, so you don't need me to like give you Novocaine or numb you for this, right?
Yeah.
He said that. And I was like, yeah, no, I want you to do that.
Whenever there's tough as hell.
Whenever there's an option for me to like be numb in any medical procedure, I'm like, give me that one, obviously.
Well, I always think about that when women give birth without the epidural.
Yeah, I'm like, why?
Why would you put yourself through that?
Why would you do that?
Crazy shit. Because I think it makes their baby dumb or ugly or something.
Well, what dumb or ugly or dumb and ugly?
I'm not really sure why they don't do it. I made that up.
You just made it.
Yeah. I guess if it made my baby ugly, then don't give it to me.
If it made your baby dumb, you're cool?
That's fine. Give it to me.
You don't mind a dumb baby?
Depends if we know the gender. I wouldn't want... I mean, it's the Gatsbyism, isn't it?
So if it's a boy...
girl should be a pretty little fool. If it's a boy, you want it to be smart, I guess.
If a boy is smart and ugly, he's still going to be kind of welcomed and celebrated by society.
Yes.
But if a girl is smart and ugly, they throw rocks at her.
Yes, smart and ugly is like one of the worst things you could be as a woman, as they say in The Great Gatsby.
Yeah.
I do think dumb and ugly as a woman, I don't even know. I don't know what some people might say that that's me.
Yeah.
Some of you guys might be thinking, girl, you do know.
Yeah.
And it's you. It's your experience currently.
Look around you. Do you see a dumb, ugly girl? If not, look in the mirror.
Dude, real. If you can't find the dumb, ugly girl, you are the dumb, ugly girl.
And here's what I would say. I actually think I'm mid smart, mid attractive.
So yeah, you think you're just working with some 6 to 8s across the board?
I think my mom did the epidural though.
Yeah,
I think most
moms
people
did
do.
the epidural. I was a C-section baby, which apparently means that I have a bigger head and makes me smarter. I would say.
I've always
What?
said that about you.
Yeah.
When I first met you, like we talked a little bit, and I kind of gauged your personality.
Yeah.
And as I turned away, I was just like, C-section.
C-section.
That's what I say after every time I interact with any person, I turn away and I go, epidural, C-section. And that's how I know everything about them.
We all have like different stereotypes through which we like process other people. I do think like it's like after interacting with someone, they might walk away going like, oh, she's so her astrological sign, or she's so oldest daughter, or she's so, you know what I mean? Like we
Yeah.
all have like those kind of classifications. For some of us, we're like, oh, they're Myers-Briggs type, but they're, you know what I mean?
There's such fetal alcohol syndrome.
Yes, exactly. But for you, it's C-section, epidural.
Well, I was epidural, you were C-section.
I was C-section. Okay, wait, actually this kind of
Speaking of how people
What?
perceive you,
Yes. Oh, people online. This is so funny because I put on the glasses not even thinking about this. But people on the internet are always commenting that I look like Lane Kim from Gilmore Girls. And I'm like, guys, they don't say that I look like Lane Kim. They say, oh my God, you remind me of Lane. Oh my God, you remind me of Lane Kim from Gilmore Girls. Oh my God, she's so Lane Kim from Gilmore Girls. Guys, that's racist. The only thing that I have in common with Lane Kim, truly from the bottom of my heart, is that I'm also Asian.
because you actually don't vibe like Lane Kim from Gilmore Girls at all.
There are so many characters in Gilmore Girls that I am before I'm Lane Kim. I'm Paris, way before I'm Lane Kim.
Exactly.
Like, I'm so much more Paris than I am Lane Kim. I'm so much more.
Well, you're a Paris Lorelai hybrid.
I'm a Paris Lorelai.
I, of course, am an Emily Lorelai hybrid. And I would say again, like you remind me of Lane Kim. That's basically just commenting Asian.
Yeah, you may as well just comment Asian.
Because Lane Kim and you have Lane Kim is like she's like a sheltered like rocker,
Repressed rocker. Yeah.
That ain't you at all.
No, I'm not a repressed rocker. I'm not sheltered.
You're wearing Jimmy Choo glasses.
I'm wearing Jimmy Choo glasses.
That's not what Lane Kim was rocking with. Well, people on the internet will always comment that I look like some combination of Dave Franco or Drew Gooden.
Yes.
Both of which I would be fine with in a
And
vacuum.
Homelander.
And I would get Homelander. Okay, I guess. People on the internet will comment that I'm either Dave Franco, Drew Gooden, or Homelander. Those are, or some combo of the three. Now, I will say, no, normally that would be fine, but except for a lot of times, people won't just comment that. They'll be like, you look like Drew Gooden in 10 years. Or you look like Drew Gooden if he was older.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm pretty sure me and Drew Gooden are the exact same age now.
You
just
look like
saying
Dave Franco after an explosion.
Yeah, I look like Dave.
Terrible act.
I look like Dave Franco after just a rough summer working in the mines. And I'm like, it is just like you're basically saying I look like an uglier version of these people.
But he doesn't. In my
Yeah.
opinion, again, I've maintained, I think that you are more attractive than all these people.
Well, you're married to me, so I would certainly hope so.
Yeah, well, none of them asked me to marry them.
That's true. So we won't know.
We don't know.
We won't know until Homelander asks you to marry
Yeah,
him.
and then we'll see for real. Then the test will be exposed. Actually, does that bring us to our relationship hypothetical?
Yes. Okay. So
Okay.
yeah.
So I have a couple that I stole from this girl I saw on TikTok who has really good ones. And her name is Sophie Hezekiah. I just want to shout her out so that I'm not just like stealing these.
We're going to be asking each other some hypothetical relationship questions that gauge how we actually really feel about each other. So feel free to follow along at home and ask these to your partner.
If you want to make them really upset.
Go ahead. What's the first question?
First question. You get DNA test results back and you find out we are 100% biological siblings. Do you stay with me?
Well, first off, that would be impossible because we are different races. But I would say at this point, yeah.
To me, it's too far gone.
At this point, we've been together 7 years. We're married. It's like the cat's out of the bag. Like you can't put the genie back in the bottle. You can't put the incestuous genie back in the bottle.
So true. And for a penny and for a pound of incest.
And that is the full saying.
And that's what they
Dude,
don't.
for all I know, that is the full saying.
Yeah, dude. Okay, wait. That's so funny because apparently, like, there's so many sayings where people cut off the last half and it significantly changes.
Well,
the
it's like
meaning of
a
the
bird in
idiom.
hand is worth two in the bush, and also Irishmen should be put to death. You
Yeah,
know what I mean? It's like they all have that.
They all have
But
that.
anyway, another
Okay.
relationship hypothetical.
You get $1 billion, but only if you jerk off in front of your entire family to completion.
Am I allowed to tell my family it's for $1 billion, or is it
No,
just
you can't say why. You just gotta whip it out and start jerking it.
And do they then after the fact can they like sue me for like sex offense stuff?
I don't know the potential legal
Let's
ramifications.
assume there's no legal
I would say
blowback.
let's assume max legal blowback, but now you have $1 billion, so you could probably pay them off. But I guess that's like how much of the $1 billion would you have to spend paying
Okay,
off your
let's
family?
assume there is no legal blowback.
Let's assume they liked it.
No. How did you take a question and make it worse? Let's not assume that.
Okay.
Let's assume they're into it. No. Let's assume there's no.
Let's assume they start all jerking it too.
Let's assume no. Let's not assume because it makes an ass out of you and my whole family who's jerking it. But I would say let's assume that I can't explain that it's for $1 billion, but also they can't then like report me to the police or anything or something. Let's assume that for whatever reason.
It seems like we are making a lot of assumptions, so why not make some other assumptions?
Because your assumptions are completely change the nature of the question. Because then the question becomes, would you, for $1 billion,
do a family jerk off circle?
Will be a registered sex offender and go
Right.
to prison for the rest of your life? And I'm not sure that I would.
I don't think you could ever go to prison for the rest of your life just for jerking it in front of people.
I think it's on the table.
No, I don't think there's ever jail time for that.
I just think there is.
No, I don't think
You don't think there's ever jail time for that?
Who's in jail because they jerked it in front of other people? Who's in jail for just that?
I think a lot of people, like that's considered like a sex crime. All right, what about you, Dana? Would you jerk off in front of your whole family for $1 billion?
Well, then I have the other questions. Am I going to be in jail?
No, but this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. You're complicating it. You're trying to, let's just take the question at face value and assume there are no other repercussions beyond your family sees it and isn't that awkward.
For $1 billion, I do most things for $1 billion.
So you would?
Yeah, for $1 billion.
Yeah, for $1 billion, I think that ultimately I would as well.
Yeah.
And I assume after the fact, I'd be like, I assume maybe after the fact they can see me living large. I don't know.
Right. You have to know in your heart, like they'll know why I did this one day.
I wouldn't want to traumatize my family, but I do think if there was a way I could like, contextualize it with $1 billion.
Yeah.
You know also, maybe
would you get them presents after?
But also
maybe that's weirder.
That's almost weirder because then it's almost like my family. I paid my family to let me do it.
Right.
That's kind of like I'm prostituting myself to my own mom and dad.
Mm-hmm. Dude, do you guys remember when our whole family dynamic shifted after Robert jerked in front of us and started giving us really elaborate gifts?
Well, then after the fact, I'm like. I show up to Thanksgiving the next year, and I'm like, I give my dad like a really nice I give him like a car.
You give him a Patek watch.
Yeah, I show up the next year to Thanksgiving. I give my dad a really nice watch, and my grandpa's like, "Hey, what's the occasion? What's that for?" And I'm like, What? Huh? Here's what I would say.
Yeah.
In the fun of this question, the answer would be yes. But I have to be honest. I think in real life, the answer would be no.
Really?
I think actually
for
I
$1
wouldn't.
billion.
Because I look at it through the lens of just like that would actually permanently ruin my relationship with my mother and father.
I guess I don't have a dad. That also okay. The fact that I don't have a dad, I think, also makes the question easier for me to answer.
I mean, dare I say you have a leg up in this scenario.
In this scenario, I have a leg up. And that's okay. I would like to say to all the people out there who are maybe missing one parent, in these hypothetical scenarios about doing embarrassing stuff in front of your parents, you have it easier. So don't take that for granted. Yeah. And
that's just a little message from us. You're welcome.
From a fatherless girl to
I'm imagining a podcast listener. One of their parents suffers a tragic accident and they're sitting in the ER and one of their parents dies and then their other one, their family's comforting them and they're like, well, this makes this the jerk off question a little easier. What? At least now I can jerk off in front of you guys and it'll be easier. What? For $1 billion. For $1 billion.
My mom was who I was really embarrassed about doing it in front of. Yeah. You guys are.
Well, I would say in real life, probably no. Okay. I would say maybe also because I'm from Missouri. It's an inherently a more conservative environment.
I guess my thing too is okay, how do you say this? When you have a judgmental family, it's everything you do feels like jerking off in front of them.
When I tell my family that I post videos on the internet, that may as well be functionally
they think that I'm jerking it. Also, it's again, posting a picture of myself on Instagram where I look nice. It's they probably think I'm a prostitute of some sort.
Yeah.
And it's I'm fully clothed, smiling. They're like, she's a fucking prostitute.
So I would say ultimately my real answer would probably be no to that one. All right, next question.
Okay. Mine would be yes. And I'm doubling down on that. And if anyone would like to give me $1 billion to do it, let's ride. Just kidding.
You're not.
Well, who would give me $1 billion to do that?
I don't know. I don't think anyone.
I would love to have $1 billion.
I would too.
That would be really nice.
And I would say, like, the next year when we're sitting in Ibiza.
Yeah, when we're in Ibiza.
Well, here's the thing. What's great about that is only one of us would have to do it. Because then we would split the money.
Split?
Well, you would spend the money, but you would want me to come along.
You're my husband.
Yeah.
Ugh, you know what would suck though is if I got the $1 billion and then you were like, I need to divorce you, and then I'd be like, oh, so you can get my half of the money, and you're like, no, it just makes me. I don't want to be married to someone who jerked off in front of me.
Yeah, I'm like, no, it genuinely makes me uncomfortable.
It genuinely really disturbed me. All right, let's. Okay, next question. You get $1 million, but only if you punch me in the face as hard as you can, and you can't tell me why you did it ever. So you just have to punch me in the face. You get $1 million. And then you can't tell me, like, even if you buy me a big present after, you can't be like, it's because I punched you in the face.
Can I be honest? Yeah. I wouldn't, because I think that would lead to you feeling unsafe with me. Oh. And I think that if I did get $1 million, setting aside whether I explained it, I would want to, like, I don't know, go on vacation with you or go out to dinner with you. And at the end of the day,
I'd be like flinching.
Yeah, you would always be like, what if he's about to hit me? And then I know that obviously I'm not, because I already got the money.
So you just worry about it from like a power dynamic, physical safety.
Well, also, let's just do it this way. If someone on the street came up and they said, I'll give you $1 million to punch Dana Donnelly in the face, I would say no to that person, obviously. I wouldn't even have to think about it. It'd be easy. And I think that I would...
I would do it to you.
If you did it to me, but also this is the advantage of you kind of being small and cute. Right. You punching me is kind of funny.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even need an explanation.
I also feel like we'd get over it.
We would get over it.
Not to give the audience not to make the audience like worried for Robert, but it's like, I can get handsy. Just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
You mean Tuesday? Punch Robert in the face.
Yeah. You're like, if I punch you in the face, would you let me punch you in the face for $1 million? I'm like, what? This one's for $1 million? No, I think that you could do it to me, and I would get over it. And but also, at the end of the day, like, I don't fear you physically.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest difference.
Where I think the
also, it's like I punch you in the face. It's like you could easily you could hate me, as we always say.
As we always say.
One of us could, with their bare hands,
which is why, like, I think that I wouldn't want to create a dynamic where you're feeling unsafe with me, because because that would kill my vibe.
It would
and
kill
then what would I spend $1 million on?
So true, because the vibe is dead.
The vibe is dead.
That's so real. Okay, next one. Your mom and I switch bodies. I love this one. Your mom and I switch bodies, and the only way to switch us back is to have sex with one of us. Who are you having sex with? So your mom in my body, or my body with your mom inside of it.
So it's either my mom's mind in your body, or your mind in my mom's body. You're gonna have to answer this too.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say really uncomfortably, I think it would have to be your mind and my mom's body, because that way at least you psychically will be the same person.
Yeah.
And like psychically.
Yes. I'm always gonna choose your mind.
Yeah.
I think the conscience.
Who you are is who you are.
Who you are is who you are. Your consciousness is, to me, your personhood.
Yeah.
I actually gab about your body. Here's the real truth too. If you woke up tomorrow in like just a random middle-aged woman's body, but I knew you were you, I would continue to be with you.
I would agree.
Like, genuine. Like, that wouldn't bother me one bit.
I've thought about that. If my consciousness was like in like a body horror switch scenario, if my consciousness was implanted into like a random body, I'm like, also, here's the deal. It's like, I feel pretty confident that I could get you to fall in love with me, like, honestly, in like a lunch or less.
No, yeah.
As soon as I explain the situation, I'd be like, lunch or less.
Yeah, I think so. And I like to think that likewise.
I really like
to think. Also, I mean, look, maybe I don't know that you're shallow because you just like how I look. Yeah. But I really, truly, in my heart, believe like you would be attracted to me in any size, shape, gender. Like, I really believe that.
Well, is there such a thing where I'm like, I'm pan, but for one person's consciousness?
Yeah, well, I think people call it like demisexual, where you're just attracted to personalities.
And you know what? I guess if I'm being honest, maybe the first time I heard about that, I kind of didn't give it much credence. But maybe the reality is, like, if they put your mind
into you could put your mind into any person's physicality, and I would love the shit out of you. Genuinely.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Like, I'm thinking about like the, not to be rude, but like the fattest, grossest, whatever. I'm like, I would love you.
Yeah.
Also, because I know who you are, and like we always talk about with Robert, Robert is the kind of person where I truly believe that him and any other person's body for 2 weeks, he could make their life dramatically better. In whatever way that they wanted to make their life better, Robert could do it. Robert is so good at creating plans for improvement. And I really am like, I trust that even if Robert was in an ugly body, he'd find a way to look smacks whatever situation he had.
Sure, but also I would say this with you. Well, we've talked about this. I think if you and I switched bodies, it wouldn't even be a blip.
No, I don't think so either. I don't think it would be a problem. Yeah.
I also think it would be like literally
our lives would kind of be the same.
We'd kind of be the same. I also, you know what I think you would do? I think that you would continue writing jokes for me to perform in your body, and then I would continue writing sketches for you to perform in my body.
Yeah. I think that we'd honestly, I think our day-to-day would be largely unchanged.
Yeah. I think I would complain less as you than you complain as you. And that's always been my theory. Whenever you complain about like phantom ailments, I'm like, I know if I was in your body, this wouldn't be a problem.
And I would discover that Robert actually has like just crazy migraines that he's been completely not acknowledging.
You find out that my back has been in so much pain.
And you've never said a fucking word about it.
I never said a word.
Okay, and then
you know what else kind of true? Like I did have 2 busted front teeth for a decade plus and never really complained. Who knew?
Did they? But they didn't hurt.
No, they didn't really hurt. No,
it was just an aesthetic thing. Okay, last question.
Well, actually, yeah,
that I have, and then you can go to yours. I'm turned into a newborn baby. Do you raise me as your own child, or do you give me up for adoption?
Well, let me be so clear. This would be an absolute hellish nightmare scenario.
Yeah.
This is a 2-pronged answer. One, I would raise you, but there would be no romantic involvement at any point. It's not like I would be raising you to reassume your role as wife.
Got it.
I would be raising you, and it would be a completely like the old Dana's. So do you think you would
be remarrying in this era of like my childhood? Like,
I think we're in a whole new reality.
Right.
I think because also like you don't have your old memories, right? You're just a baby.
No, I think I'm just a newborn baby. It's me though.
No, I wouldn't give you up for adoption. I think that if it fell to me to raise you, it's like I'd raise you and provide a good environment for you. But let me be so clear, like the dynamic would,
like I would never be your wife again.
No.
Okay.
Never.
So you're never gonna raise me to be your wife. You're gonna like raise me.
I would raise you to have a good life, and then like. Again, I think I would treat it like the way you would treat it of like if you, Dana, had a child and then you passed away. It's like I obviously, you know what I mean? Like again, as we say, the consciousness is who the person is. So if in that scenario, your consciousness is gone. It's just like you kind of being a new version is being remade. Right, so it's like, I guess I would step up.
But it's also like you don't know me then if I'm just a newborn baby.
But I'm assuming I already knew you.
But what if you do fall in love with me? Would it be hard to not fall in love with me?
No.
But I would be like fundamentally very similar. Like
I think that I would, of course,
you'd constantly be like, oh, this reminds me of my wife.
Yeah, but in the way that like a father can like raise a child who reminds him of his late wife, and that doesn't mean he's gonna marry her.
Like if we had a baby and then I died, like you'd raise the baby, obviously.
Obviously, and I think that's what's close to this scenario. I don't care that it's technically your same DNA or whatever. What about you?
Would I raise you as my baby? Yeah. But I would never have any interest in you being my husband.
Exactly. Ew. I love it how like when I said that you had all sorts of follow-up questions, and then we flip it and you're like, well, yeah, obviously not.
No, obviously not. Yeah, I guess it's like, this is just a baby. And also, it's like, I know I'll probably like this person. Like, if I do a pretty good job, like, I'll like who this person grows up to be. But also, again, it's like you realize, too, so much of why we like each other is because of, like, how we were raised.
Well, that also is something that's really interesting because I don't think we'd wind up that similar because neither of us are similar to our parents.
Yeah, like, also, I'd have no intention of raising you the way that you were raised.
Well, it's also very interesting because my parents actually, in so many ways, were quite strict and they were about, like, chores and, like, doing manual labor as chores. Mm-hmm. And I don't mean that in, like, a child labor way, but also in some ways I kind of do. But I'm like, and here's the deal. Even though I hated it and I don't plan on doing that, that did unquestionably form a percentage of who I am.
Yeah.
So therefore, if you were to raise me from a baby and you didn't make me do that, I would turn out to be a radically different person.
And I would say I was raised like pretty undisciplined, and I would hope that you would raise me with a little bit more discipline, but I think I would be probably less like kooky and funny.
Definitely
like,
less. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know. My point is, here's the thing about that question. I think it thinks that someone is their body, and I would say someone is their consciousness, which is what we've arrived at.
That's so real. Yeah. I'm your consciousness.
How about this? Yeah. We're together, but every year we're together, we both turn 5% more into a worm. How long would we stay together?
I would be with you until we're both becoming worms at the same clip. Why wouldn't we just?
Interesting.
You really?
I just think at that point it's like
we'd separate.
Well, maybe it's like a thing where we would still like Zoom.
Wait, but like, okay.
If it's a thing like if we're physically in the same.
Really?
I don't want to be a worm. I assumed you wouldn't either. I would almost think
No,
of it
I
as
thought
me.
we just live out our lives where we're just like becoming worms, I guess.
Dude, you realize that like if it's 5%, what does that mean? In 10 years, we're both half worm, half human freaks.
Yeah, but we're together.
Yeah, but that's hell, right?
What?
You see, I thought we would separate immediately for each other's good. Like I would be like, Dana, you deserve to be a full human.
Oh.
You
Well, no, because it's like, well, clearly, again, it's like the do unto others as you would have them do unto you. I wouldn't mind becoming 5% worm every year if we were together.
Well,
Okay.
Well, now I'm like trying to like do damage control. I'm like, wait, am I a piece of shit?
No, I don't think you're a piece of shit. I guess it really just depends on like your ideal like quality of life and stuff like that.
Let me put it this way.
To me, I'm like, we could make so much content about like, oh, we're together and like we stay together even though we become 5% worm.
Yeah, and I'm sure that would go really viral, but at what cost?
Also, again, we're not full worms till 20 years.
Yeah.
How does it affect our like overall lifespan?
Probably shortens it.
I wouldn't mind that. Like, to me, I'm like, if we live, that's a fun experience. Who else gets that experience?
People who are cursed. Like people who suffer some horrible curse.
I guess it doesn't bother me. Like,
it
is
would
that
bother
crazy?
you. Here's also the real problem.
Yeah.
What
part of us starts turning
I don't know, man.
first?
You don't get to pick. It's not going to be like you have a worm toe and then a worm foot and then a worm calf. It's going to be like all of you is like contorting. I'm assuming there's no pain involved, although if this was real, there would be pain involved. But it is like a slow, just like whatever. But at the 10-year mark, you're halfway.
We're becoming like essentially sort of like kind of Marvel X-Men characters.
Well, here's the difference though.
Yeah.
If in 20 years on the dot, we turned 100% a worm. So if it wasn't gradual, but we said, hey, you stay together, but in 20 years from now, you both turn into worms, I would stay with you.
Okay.
I also think that is a crucial difference.
Okay.
And I think on the day before we turn to...
think that the day-to-day experience of slowly becoming a worm wouldn't be worth it.
I think it would be a rare psychic torture and a body core torture. Okay. So I think that's it. It's not that I'm trying to ditch you. It's not that I'm trying to ditch you.
Now that he has new teeth, he's like, so we got cursed.
Well, that's another thing.
We have to separate. Or
if I turn into a worm, technically like a percentage of my teeth that were repaired wouldn't turn. So it would be like I would be a worm and I would just have like two like jutting crowns.
Oh no. Oh yeah, those would last. Yeah. Those would stay.
But anyway, I guess to answer, I'd be like, so I think that's it. If it was we slowly turn into a worm every day we're together, I would say we should separate. And I would think of it as I'm doing it for your own good. If it was a situation, though, where it's 20 years, we're full human, but on the 20-year mark, we both turn into worms, I would stay with you for that because 20 years with you is wonderful in our current form.
Thank you. I love you. And I think I would choose the same.
Isn't that funny that if in that scenario, if like you're turning into a worm and like, let's say like a human's turning into a worm and they have fake cans.
Oh,
the
yeah,
worm
the
would have like
stay.
giant, the worm wouldn't get there's no can.
To me, I'm like, I really think I could make that brand work for me. Oh, she's the girl, she's like slowly turning into a worm. Like I genuinely kind of think it would be advantageous for us to be slowly turning into worms.
Because we'd go viral. I'm like, oh, you'd go viral a little bit.
No,
you go viral now.
No, because I'm like, no. But I'm like, we just have such a distinct brand identity.
Yeah, but it's not like the whole point of building a brand identity. It's not like they'd give you a sitcom.
I think we could get a sitcom out of it.
We're slowly turning into worms over a 20-year period. You think that we'd be able to maximize our brands as the freaks who are turning into worms quick enough to get a sitcom and syndication?
Yeah, and if anything, too, I'm like, if we're publicly being turned into worms, I'm sure there's a witch out there who's like, I can reverse your curse.
No, we can't do that.
Yeah, well, no,
we can't reverse it.
No, because if we're engaging with this whole hypothesis in good faith, I'm like, yeah, we can.
I would argue in good faith.
Yeah.
No, there's no witch. There's no witch in good faith.
But clearly there's a witch. We got turned into worms in the first place.
Would you suffer these consequences? Therefore, your answer can't include, and then I'd simply reverse the consequences.
I think it would be an adventure to think that we were plagued by this and we'd figure out how to get out of it.
No, we wouldn't figure out how to get out of it.
But the test would be, will you endure? That's the test.
I won't.
Oh my God.
Also, it's like, here's also the thing too. It's not like you would be slowly turning into a worm, and like, I don't know, like worms also, aren't they dumber? So wouldn't we be losing mental acuity over that time as
I don't
well?
know. I don't know about that.
So we're
part.
filming our sitcom and they're like, Dana is forgetting her lines a lot. And then we look at you and it's just like your glasses and like hair sticking out of like a giant worm. Also, the whole point of like getting a sitcom is like it allows you to enjoy your life and express yourself.
Yeah.
What would we wouldn't be enjoying anything because we're turning into a worm. And what would be expressing? We're in the writer's room and you're just like, what if there was a story about how nice it is to like be on a wet sidewalk? Other writers who are humans are like, so we figure in this one, Dana can like go to the grocery store and maybe her ex is the cashier. And you're like, what if your body is cut in half, but you're still alive, both halves? That's what I relate to. And then the witch is there and she's like, let me reverse this. And then she turns us back. And then we're like, wow, cool way to get a sitcom. But then we might lose our sitcom.
That's so true.
Because our sitcom's about turning into worms. Not so clever.
But then the sitcom, we make it so we got turned back. That's part of the sitcom too.
But then what's the new? Then that kills the
think
premise.
about the theme song. It's like there was a couple. They were cursed to be worms 5% every year, and then they got a TV show about being human worms. But then one day, a witch came along. She said, "I'll fix ya," and now they're humans again.
That's already a song. It's sung by Tate McRae. Sorry, Tate. Sorry that Dana just tried to pass off your worm hit.
Copyrighted.
I'm seeing a lot of people go really viral with songs on TikTok, and I'm jealous of them. I would love to go viral too. So here, I've decided to just come up with a song right now that I think will allow me to go viral and like parlay that into a music career, if you don't mind. Yeah. On a boat into Portland, it's the season of a broken heart. I'm loving missing you. The weather is good for a start, and I know that you and I are in autumn, 'cause it's always autumn in songs like this. On a train with my hat on, and it's a fedora, and I'm missing my ex, and there's COVID on this boat. So what you guys don't realize is I just set myself on a train to superstardom.
Yeah, a boat.
I'm on a boat
to Boston.
I'm on a boat
the
to
capital
Boston.
of being a star.
Dude, TikTok really reminds you that just like really like white people love folk pop.
On a trike to Atlanta. I got a vehicle with 3 wheels, and my ex said you'll never get to Atlanta.
It's autumn in Toronto, and I'm seeing my ex, and everyone is grooving, and I'm sad because it's autumn. It's always autumn.
It's always autumn.
It's got to be autumn.
It just has to be fall, and you should be like going somewhere. And there should be some sort of like past lover that's not your lover anymore.
It's like upbeat melancholy.
There's my ex. He left me because we'd be worms if we had stayed together. But now here we are. We're on a big tractor and we're going to the Mason-Dixon line.
On a blimp into London, and I see you on the blimp, and I say, hey there, how'd you get on this blimp? And you say, I love to ride. Say you love to ride the blimp.
Where's my tambourine?
Yeah, where's your fucking tambourine?
Where's my tambourine?
The fact that you do have a tambourine.
Yeah, I have a tambourine.
Yeah,
It used to be a really big part of my life.
Shut the fuck up.
We've closed a chapter on my tambourine.
We've closed the chapter. Well, there was no chapter on the tambourine.
There was a tambourine chapter.
No, there's no tambourine chapter.
Okay.
Oh, this is another one. This is one of the hypothetical questions where it was like, you get $1 billion, but you have to leave me for a year and just completely ghost me for a year, and you can't explain why. And then after that year, you can come back.
No, because I think it's just a year is a really long time. And I think that you would move on immediately.
I would not move on immediately.
I truly think if I was just like out of the blue, like, Robert, we can't be together anymore. And then I went and like got my $1 billion, and then I came back to you after a year. When I came back to you after a year, I think that you'd already have like.
You think I'd have a family?
Not a family, but I think like you probably would. I think you'd love again, and I think it would be too late for me, and I couldn't take that. What about you?
I think that's, by the way, a sad answer.
What do you mean it's a sad answer?
I wouldn't do it either, but here's the thing. I'm not worried that you would move on immediately. I'm worried that you would enter an insane phase of your life.
Yeah.
Like, you would, like, I don't know how you would handle it, but, like, I would leave and I'd be like, okay, Dana, just, like, stay sane for a year. And at the 4-month mark, there'd be a TikTok from someone named Tammy Tambourine. I'd see a Tammy Tambourine, and it's you playing the tambourine, and you're rapping, and the video's got like 8,000 likes, like too many for it to just be deleted, like too many, but also not viral, you know? And I'd be like, oh God, she's Tammy Tambourine.
I would be Tammy Tambourine if you just like left me. I would, after 4 months, I probably would be Tammy Tambourine. But then I hope that you'd just like. I'm like,
I wouldn't do it.
Okay.
Also, as we say, a year is a very long time.
A year is just a long time. Like,
I
just a lot
treasure
can
the time we spend together.
Same. Also, again, I don't know.
Well, you can turn 5% into a worm into a year.
Exactly. So true. I could be 5% worm in a year. But also, I'm like, I could be hit by a truck, you know, and die. I could. Okay. I actually always think about this where people's like worst case hypotheticals are always so like commonplace and pedestrian, which really irritates me. Okay, so right now there's a huge phenomenon of young trad wives on TikTok basically getting on TikTok and being like, I'm 19, I have no college education, no work experience, and I'm married to my husband, we have 2 kids, and I love it that way, and nothing will ever go wrong. And some of it reads a little rage bait sometimes, but the comments are always like, oh my God, like, girl, what if he leaves you for a younger woman? And I'm like, of all the what ifs, like there are so many other what ifs that you could be like.
Yeah, what if he leaves you for a younger woman? What if you're a psychic shell of the person you once could be?
Yeah, like I'm just like, of all the what ifs, the what if he leaves you for a younger woman? I'm like, that's such a lame what if. I'm also just like, okay, what if, you know, there's an alien invasion tomorrow and an alien eats your husband and your kids in front of you.
Now who are you? Now what do you do?
Now what do you do?
I'm a trad
and you
wife
don't have
at
college
19.
experience. That doesn't matter if you don't have college because an alien ate your husband and your kids.
Yeah.
College wouldn't have helped you. You know what I mean?
How about this? Like, what if there's an alien invasion? The aliens are like, they're bacteria and they infect you and they take over your whole body. And you realize that your body as a slave to the aliens is treated exactly the same as it was by your husband who you were a trad wife to. And then you realize like, oh my God, I'm just like being treated like a human, like skin suit by an outside entity that doesn't give a fuck about me. It just wants me for like my flesh. What then?
What then?
What then?
What then? And I'm just saying, like, the imaginative, like, kind of the fear mongering, just being so pedestrian and unimaginative drives me crazy.
Well, also, it's just like, what if he leaves you for a younger woman? It's like, that's also so backwards. Because, like, isn't your whole thing that, like, you're a trad wife to a husband? Like, you're saying, like, it's not good to just dedicate yourself wholly to this man because like he like that's just inherently weird. This guy's weird. And then like wouldn't that mean it'd be a good thing if he left you?
Right.
Because actually like wouldn't you benefit from that because he sucks?
Well, okay, but a big part of the trad wife discourse right now is about like them highlighting how they have no backup plan. Like the whole thing is I don't have a backup plan. So like the idea is if my husband were to leave me, I have literally no way to make money and support myself. And so like that's what people are responding to when they say that.
Well, here's what I would say. No one who's a trad wife on the internet is a trad wife because a trad wife by definition would have no internet presence.
She's not on social media talking about how she's a trad wife.
Like a traditional wife would have no TikTok.
No. Anyway, I just mostly the hypothetical fear mongering that is what if he leaves you for a younger woman? I'm like, what if a myriad of things?
Well, again, like people when people come on the internet and be like, I'm a trad wife, I'm 19, I have no college degree, I've never had a job, I have no savings, and then the comment is like, that's bad, which it is. But then they're like, and the reason it's bad is because like, what if in a few years he leaves you for a hot girl? I'm like, that's not the thing.
That's
like,
not.
What if in 50 years he hasn't left you and you've just lived in this prison your whole life?
Also, what if everything goes right and he does love you forever? You still are someone with very little like daily purpose or substance in your reality.
What if he leaves you in a few years? For a younger woman, what if he never leaves you and then he dies at 75 and then you're at probably 68 and then you look in the mirror and you see an old woman and also you see like all the potential that you burnt away for the sake of the man who isn't even alive anymore?
Yeah. What if, and they always say things like, gonna come back in 10 years. I'm like, 10 years, she still will be doing this.
Yes.
But we're talking about more like 80 years.
Yes.
You know? Yeah.
I'm like, it just seems like a drag.
Gonna check back on this in 10 years. And they say that like so smug. And I'm just like, that's not, they're roasting a woman for being male-centered by still being male-centered. Like they're giving like male-centered reasons why this is bad, which is that like, but the man could leave you.
If you're concerned for a trad wife, your concern shouldn't be, but what if your husband leaves you? It should be, but what if you never fully fulfill your potential as a chef?
Yes.
That should be the concern.
That should be your concern. Anyway. And on that note,
people don't like it when we call you our listeners shakers.
Yeah.
They don't really like milkshakes.
no, they don't.
I always like, what if we just like dedicated listeners?
But aren't there lots of dedicated listeners? Like, don't lots of podcasts have dedicated listeners?
Yeah, and we got to get some.
Okay, so we're gonna manifest having dedicated listeners by calling you guys dedicated listeners. Okay, I like that.
So thanks for listening to the pod.
Dedicated listeners.
Manifest, manifest, manifest.
Be dedicated. Listen and be dedicated. Listen and dedicated.